All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're diving into a narrative that is, honestly, mind-blowing. We're going to explore this incredible bridge between the high-tech, fast-paced world we're living in right now and the ancient, deeply profound prophecies found in the Vishnu Puran. We're talking about the story of Kali Yuga, the Age of Darkness, and the ultimate dawn of restoration through the Kalki Avatar. It's an epic journey, and you'll see why it's so striking when we hold these ancient texts up against our modern reality.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the growing darkness, move into the peak of destruction, then look at the divine birth, the teachings from the seven immortals, the great war with Kali, and finally, the dawn of Satya Yuga. A lot of ground to cover, so let's keep moving.
First up, Part 1, the growing darkness and the gradual collapse of human connection.
So, the source material describes the onset of Kali Yuga, the era right after Lord Krishna departs, not with the sudden, fiery apocalypse, but with these subtle, seemingly harmless conveniences that slowly push humanity apart. It happens in phases, and honestly, phase 1 sounds a little too familiar, right? People stuck in endless traffic, totally glued to their screens, which leads to a spike in domestic conflict and crime. The texts actually point out that the very tools built for human comfort become our biggest problems. Then, we hit phase 2. This is where the Earth itself reacts. We see devastating natural disasters, huge tsunamis, earthquakes, followed by rampant pandemics. And then, phase 3. This is where technology takes a massive, almost scary leap. We're talking AI taking over, flying cars, autonomous planes. But the wildest part? The social isolation. Humans completely stop valuing real relationships. They literally start opting to marry robots or adopt them instead of kids. I mean, it sounds exactly like a modern sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But remember, this was written centuries ago. Humanity basically becomes trapped in a web of its own making.
Now that brings us to Part 2, the peak of destruction, and the terrifying prophecies of the Vishnu Puran.
If that timeline felt like looking into a mirror, well, the texts of the Vishnu Puran describe the final stage of Kali Yuga as an absolute nightmare. The texts say time itself essentially closes its eyes. Look at the environmental breakdown. Nature completely turns its back on us. Rain turns to acid. The sun and moon literally vanish for days. And when the sun does show up, the heat is just unbearable. Societally, it's total collapse. We're talking complete famine, to the point where normal food is gone and human flesh is sold in markets. It's incredibly dark. And biologically, the human condition deteriorates so fast that lifespans drop to just 20 or 30 years. Childhood basically disappears as biological clocks completely break down. You have 8-year-olds getting pregnant. As for morality and religion, utter unrighteousness, or adharma, is actively taught in temples. The wicked get all the wealth and power, and the holy Ganges River, usually the ultimate cleanser of sins, is prophesied to turn blood red, just waiting for its Lord to return.
This takes us into Part 3, the divine birth, a localized sanctuary of hope.
Right when humanity hits rock bottom, the absolute lowest point, the narrative takes a massive pivot. Out there, the world is suffering from acid rain, extreme fear, total civilization collapse. But hidden away, there's this one sanctuary completely untouched by the darkness of Kali Yuga. This is Shambhala village. Think of it as this perfect bubble of devotion, filled with music, dance, and just profound peace. And it's here that we meet Vishnu Yash and Sumati, a deeply devoted couple who've dedicated their entire lives to prayer and doing the right thing.
So Lord Vishnu himself appears to this couple in a dream with a massive revelation. He tells them, a son will be born in your house who will destroy Kali Yuga and bring this earth back to the light of Satya Yuga. And the birth of this child, Kalki, is described as this awe-inspiring cosmic event. On the night he's born, the constellations align so perfectly, so miraculously, that the sun and the moon are actually seen together in the sky at the same time. The moment Vishnu Yash holds the baby, he just knows. He knows this isn't an ordinary child, this is the Kalki Avatar. Up in the heavens, gods and ancient immortals bow down, because for them, centuries of waiting are finally over.
Next is Part 4, teachings from the seven immortals, preparing the Avatar for cosmic war. What I absolutely love about this part of the story is that Kalki doesn't just wake up one day ready to fight. He actually gets to have a childhood. He plays with animals, runs around, laughs. But there's always this monumental purpose hanging over him. To prepare for that, he needs highly specialized, rigorous training. And that's when the seven immortals, the Chiranjeevis, these ancient beings who basically live outside of normal time, step in to train him. It's an all-star lineup. Hanuman gives him pure devotion and just immense physical strength. Parashuram steps up to make him an unmatched warrior, handing down the ultimate secrets of weaponry. Ashwathama teaches him battlefield strategy and, really importantly, patience. Vibhishan guides him on policy and the right path of Dharma. Kripacharya unlocks deep, ancient knowledge of the scriptures and the nature of time. Rishi Vyasa reveals the hidden, profound meanings behind righteousness. And finally, Mahabali Bali teaches him the essential lessons of sacrifice and humility. So, you see, this wasn't just hitting the gym. This was the meticulous, total molding of a divine leader getting ready to save the world.
Let's move to Part 5, The Great War with Kali, the ultimate confrontation.
This brings us right to the explosive climax of our explainer. Kalki is fully trained, carrying all this ancient wisdom, and he marches onto the battlefield. But waiting for him is Kali, the literal embodiment of the Dark Age. And Kali brought backup. He's got these two monstrous generals, the brothers Coke and Cook. Now, Coke has strength that surpasses the legendary beam. We're talking about strikes that can literally shatter mountains. Cook is the mastermind of dark magic, more cunning than Shakuni, using illusions to literally bring the dead back to life right there on the battlefield. The text describes Kalki unleashing his divine weapons, fully expecting an easy victory, but nothing happens. His strikes completely fail. These two brothers seem absolutely 100% invincible.
But hey, this is exactly where all that rigorous training pays off. Kalki realizes raw power just isn't going to cut it here. Then it clicks. He remembers a very specific tactical lesson from Ashwathama. Step 1, he figures out that their invincibility comes from proximity. Their two shadows have to be touching. Step 2, physically separate them and throw them in opposite directions. Kalki pulls off this maneuver flawlessly, and just like that, the invincible brothers are shattered. Their power is permanently gone.
Watching his strongest generals go down, Kali is terrified. He launches this desperate, massive, all-out attack straight at Kalki. But Kalki intercepts the strike midair. He just neutralizes it. And in that split second, the ultimate lesson from his master Parashuram rings in his head. Today, I am teaching you the Brahmastra. This will destroy Kali and start Satya Yuga. Channeling the blessings of all the gods and his 7 immortal teachers, Kalki summons the Brahmastra, the ultimate weapon. With one single, decisive, cosmic strike, Kali and the entire oppressive era of Kali Yuga are completely wiped out.
And finally, Part 6. The dawn of Satya Yuga, and cosmic balance restored.
With the darkness finally gone, that frantic, apocalyptic energy of the world just breathes out and slows right down. A profound, lasting peace settles over the earth. And the narrative wraps up really beautifully here. Lord Kalki marries Padmavati, and they have 2 sons, Jai and Vijay. This is huge because it signifies the continuation of a righteous bloodline. But more importantly, it marks the complete and permanent restoration of truth, balance, and dharma. The Dark Age is officially history, and the Golden Age of Satya Yuga has begun.
This ancient epic from the Vishnu Puran gives us such a sweeping vision of societal collapse, followed by incredible divine intervention. But what really sticks with you is that timeline we looked at earlier, right? So, I want to leave you with a thought as we wrap up this explainer. Look at the rising isolation around us, our total obsession with screens, and the incredibly rapid rise of artificial intelligence. Are we seeing the beginning of this final phase of Kali Yuga in our modern era of machines? It's an ancient prophecy, sure, but man, it feels incredibly close to home. Something to think about. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep seeking knowledge.